Hi there, and welcome to another Object Talk. My name is Shireen, and I am part of the learning team and really excited to be sharing today's objects. Now, as I'm sure many of you are aware, Object Talks are an opportunity for you all, our online visitor, to learn something new about the Jewish Museum's collection. This month, October, is Black History Month in England. And at the museum, we're spending the month highlighting parts of our Black History programme, including our race and religion tours, our Black and Jewish school workshops, and of course, our exhibition on Abi Yudaya, the Jews of Uganda. Now, of course, there are many Black Jews in Britain, but with little representation. And unfortunately, this reflects in our collection. Hence our new contemporary collecting project, Inclusive Judaism, which I will share more about at the end of this video. But now to focus on our existing collection. Today we will look at 3 objects, 2 on display and 1 behind the scenes in our storerooms. Now, if you were to walk around our museum, you may see only few representations of Black people in our collection. Now, this is for a few reasons. When we think about the movement of many Jewish people in African countries, for example, the movement of their diasporic travels have pointed them towards other countries, for example, Israel and America, and not so much the UK. Also, according to the 2011 census, only roughly around 3.5% of the population identified as Black, and roughly around 0.6% identified as Jewish, which means the Black Jewish community is small, and therefore perhaps their representation is shown in a similar way. But this does not mean these stories are not or should not be shown, and that is what we aim to do at the museum. Now, if you were to walk around our museum, you will probably see a few images of Black people depicted from the early modern period. I'm talking about the 16 and 1700s. During this time, as well, there were about 12.5 million Africans enslaved and forcibly shipped to America, the Caribbean, but also Europe, by Britain and other colonial empires. Very often in Europe, enslavement translated to servitude, where enslaved Black people were made to serve slave masters in their homes and other people of aristocracy. There are many stories. Now, some of these stories are reflected in the images in our collection. Let's take a closer look. Now, today I'm going to be showing you 3 images of Black people represented in our collection. The 3 Black people we will see have something in common, which we will identify at the end, but I wonder if you can figure it out. Now let's start with this object here. This object is found in our Judaism gallery. It is a diorama or mini theatre showing the interior of a sukkah. It's most probably part of Martin Engelbrecht's series of miniature theatres depicting religious Jewish scenes and pictures of daily life produced roughly around the 1700s. Now, in the 18th century, dioramas or mini theatres like this became very popular as a means of entertainment. These small-sized dioramas are regarded as the precursors of the paper theatre that became popular in the 19th century. Now, if we look closely at this object, we see that this diorama depicts a Jewish family celebrating Sukkot, one of the 3 pilgrimage festivals during the Jewish year. During this festival, Jewish people are commanded to create booths, Sukkot, adorned with fruits and other decorations. We can see that this diorama is made to resemble a Sukkot with the family sat inside. But if we look closely, you will see that the family is attended by a Black servant. He is wearing a style of dress extremely common in European depictions of Black men during the 17th, 18th, and 19th centuries. It shows this boy painted with the darkest complexion as he serves the family. He wears formal attire, including a blue liveried coat with gold. Now, let's take another look at another object in our collection. This object you will find in our history gallery. Now, this image is called Memento Mori. It is one of a series of 3 vanitas pictures. Now, Latin for vanity, vanitas refers to a type of still life consisting of a collection of objects that symbolize the brevity of human life and the transcendence of earthly pleasures and achievements. In this frame painting, we see a fashionably dressed young man, once again attended by a small black servant, pointing onwards. Though he is not wearing a turban, like the man we saw in the previous image, he too has a blue liveried coat. And then let's take another look at an object. Though it's not on display, it is part of our collection. Now, this is a very incredibly interesting object. This image is not on display, like I said. It is called 24 hobby horses of all of a row. Here we see 24 men depicting according to the stereotypes of the 19th century, which is problematic in many ways, as most stereotypes are. Now here we see a Jewish man depicted wearing 2 hats. Now, Jewish street sellers were often depicted in this way. We also see a black man wearing the same liveried coat. So, in all of these 3 objects, we have seen representations of black men wearing blue liveried coats. But why? Now, the depiction of these black men by no means reflect their own authentic black identity, perhaps their roots in Africa or other parts of the world. No. The depiction of these black men serves to reinforce their otherness and thus reflect their own righteousness, belonging and worldliness, as opposed once again to the subject's authentic identity. Now, as David Dabadine, historian, rightly stated, these representations of black people existed merely to reflect upon the white, their masters. The function is to indicate social standing, someone who is educated, relevant, and involved in the new world economy. And when I say someone, we once again are talking about the masters of these black people, these black servants and enslaved people. Now, when you walk around museums, very often we will see representations of black people around this century in a similar way. It's not unique to the Jewish Museum's collection, but evident in many paintings of this time. Now, there are many other older and contemporary images that show the wide variety of roles and contributions of black people in our collection and beyond. In our collection, we have images that represent the vibrant diversity in the Jewish community and of black Jews as well. And we are constantly seeking ways to continue to diversify the collection, whilst allowing space for images like we've seen, also encouraging space for black people and other marginalized communities to be represented in the very vibrant history that they assume. Now, this is why we have at the museum embarked on this project here, the Inclusive Judaism Project, in which we are seeking new images from across the community that highlight the many forms of diversity in the Jewish community in terms of race, culture, sexuality, practice, and beyond. Now, should you feel like you have an image that reflects the cause of this project, please do feel free to email us at community@jewishmuseum.org.uk with the subject Inclusive Judaism Interest, as we continuously seek to embark to collect more diverse images. And in the meantime, why not come to our Race in Religion tours? These tours highlight the many roles of Blackness in the transatlantic slave trade, but further beyond as well, looking at the apartheid, Blackness in religious texts, as well as Black Jewish communities in Uganda, Ethiopia, and beyond too. Until then, I hope you enjoyed this object talk and have a wonderful day. Thank you.